The new world of the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. Yeah, you see the shirt repping right now. But make sure you check out blackfilesnews.com for actual our own merch. This is not BFN material. However, this is like BFN material, if you get what I'm saying. But you can also go in there and donate, buy music, get with our advertising deals. You know what I mean? Tap into our audiences. Gritty, intelligent audience, thousands across multiple social media platforms. So F with us as we continue to F with y'all, updating y'all, you know what I mean? Because these things, even though they may seem small, they're really important. Like, for example, the fact that President Joe Biden has wrapped up his meeting with NATO at the NATO summit in Brussels, Belgium. The NATO being the North American Treaty Organization. Now tomorrow he's set to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Geneva. But NATO officials have actually declared China to be a security risk for the first time after a push from Joe Biden. And China accused NATO of actually having a Cold War mentality in doing so. But NATO leaders also warned of Russia and urged Moscow to actually remove their troops from Ukraine, Georgia, and the Republic of Moldova. Green War and Graduation. For the new world of the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. Now, in response to the G7 and their pledge to actually donate 1 billion vaccine doses for COVID-19 to middle and low income countries, in response to that, you have the World Health Organization basically saying that the spread of the virus is going faster than the spread of the vaccinations. Director General of WHO, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, basically said that that's a huge help, but it's not enough. Right now, 10,000 people are dying per day from COVID-19, he suggested. And even, as he said, during this press conference alone, 413 people are going to die. Like, we need them now, not next year. So 1 billion vaccine doses is just 613 million more than was previously pledged by these wealthy nations. The WHO believes that 11 billion vaccine doses is what's needed to vaccinate 70% of the global population, which they think will stop the spread of the virus officially and end the pandemic. Green War and Graduation. Report of the new world of the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. So in the motherland, that's Africa, 14 nations are actually seeing a rise in COVID-19 cases, with a 26% rise in new COVID-19 cases across Africa in the first week of June. 0.6% of Africa's 1.3 billion person population is actually fully vaccinated. 0.6%. So on contrast, you got Chile in South America that's actually the most, carried out the most successful vaccination program, where more than 60% of their population is vaccinated. However, you have authorities still deciding to shut down the capital, Santiago, lock it down, as intensive care units over there are actually reaching their full capacity. Green War and Graduation. For the new world of the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. So despite having one of the world's worst coronavirus disease outbreaks with over 500,000 deaths due to the disease, Brazil has still opened up its soccer tournament, the Copa America, the soccer tournament. And there was a lot of protests actually going on. The tournament kicked off in Brasilia on Sunday, and you had a bunch of indigenous people actually marching in protest against the soccer arena. Motherfuckers is like, we want vaccines, not soccer matches. So you have the tournament kicking off, and Brazil's health minister has already said that there have been 40 COVID-19 cases connected to the kickoff of the tournament, including 31 players and staffers. So people want this tournament to shut down. I mean, they were already protesting against it. Already didn't make any sense. You already have famous players protesting, saying that they don't want to participate in the tournament due to the COVID outbreak. We'll see how this plays out. Green War and Graduation. For the new world of the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. So in the United States, a country that has actually topped a COVID-19 death toll of 600,000, while at the same time getting its lowest daily death rate due to COVID-19 ever since the start of the pandemic, ever since numbers in March of 2020. So it seems like there's a turning point going on in the U.S. However, the University of Washington has data out basically saying that the true death toll in the U.S. due to COVID-19 is likely estimated to be a lot higher, around 924,000. And I think it's funny how a lot of times the insinuation is that they're down in these numbers. You know, we're inclined to think that about this pandemic. However, all of the news that has come out about any number skewing normally leads to there being the numbers being lower than they actually are. But we'll get to the bottom of that as time goes on, hopefully soon. The Green War and graduation. The New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. So, back from tour, going to these South American and Central American countries trying to stop immigration from happening in the U.S. at the southern borders. You actually have Vice President Kamala Harris now touring the southern states of the United States to promote vaccine usage. Kicked it off in South Carolina yesterday on Monday, where she basically talking about, you know, if you're vaccinated, you're protected. If your community is vaccinated, COVID rates in your community will go down. And honestly, the data that's out there by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC that is, they actually support what she's saying, where the data that the CDC really shows that the coronavirus hotspots in the U.S. are actually in places where there are low vaccination rates. On the flip side, you got over in Vermont, the state of Vermont being the first state to actually administer at least one vaccine dosage to 80% of the eligible population. So Phil Scott, the governor of the state, actually is going to lift all coronavirus restrictions. So we'll see what it turns about from that, because they'll be the first state that'll feel like, yeah, we can actually free ourselves. Almost everybody's vaccinated. You know, they'll be the petri dish. We'll see. Green War graduation. This report out of the world of the Bishop Grady let y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. So you have former National Security Agency contractor, reality winner. You might have heard me mention this white girl on BFN World Broadcast number 12, where I'm rapping about her. This is somebody who, while working for the agency, dispelled to the press that there was Russian intelligence interference in the 2016 election cycle. I mean, understand what came from this. You know, it ended up being the whole Russian investigation and all of that. Why motherfuckers would call it a hoax as if this wasn't revealed is beyond me. You know what I mean? Personally, MAGA, I think y'all media be fucking with y'all heads. But nevertheless, this woman leaked this information and was sentenced to 5 years in prison for violation of the Espionage Act. Well, she has officially been released from prison and sent to a halfway house where she's going to serve the remainder of her 6 months of her term. Now, prosecutors say that she actually received the longest sentence ever given out by a federal court for unauthorized disclosure of government info to the press. Green War graduation. The New World Order Bishop Grady let y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. So on Monday, 3 Senate Republicans actually voted with Democrats to confirm the nomination of U.S. now District Court Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to the U.S. Court of Appeals in the D.C. Circuit. Now, this is actually seen as a stepping stone to the U.S. Supreme Court. So, you know, congrats to this person. You know they black. You know, you hear the name. But at the same time, you have Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell actually talking with Hugh Hewitt, conservative talk show radio host, basically saying how they're not going to affirm or confirm any U.S. Supreme Court nominees that President Biden picks for the 2024 cycle, and is even going to stonewall a nominee that he has for the Supreme Court in 2023 should a vacancy open. So that lets you know what type of partisan games they playing. And honestly, if they're playing this way, a two-party system is not sustainable. Green War and graduation. Think about that, man. Streets report out of the world, though, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. So Chicago Police Department Officer Carol Chawasiuk. You know, y'all white people be having some weird ass names sometimes. It just is what it is. But this police officer was actually became the 465th person arrested for partaking in the January 6th U.S. Capitol insurrection that was basically gassed up by Donald Trump himself. We ain't even march with y'all motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder what Trump is doing for these hundreds of people that have been arrested in his name and based off of his words. So also you have Boeing that actually has stopped donating and giving campaign contributions to Republicans after the January 6th insurrection, resuming their campaign contributions, and actually gave to 3 Republicans who actually voted to overturn the 2020 election results. You have Jack Bergman, Vicky Hartzler, and Steve Scalise. So we'll see what comes about with this. I mean, they had stopped doing it for a reason, but it seems like, the Trump administration had looked out for Bowen. I mean, they didn't get too much heat from those Ethiopian airline and Lions Airline crashes, and they had a former Boeing executive work in the Department of Defense. So maybe they, it's an inside thing there with the Republicans. They sticking together, you know what I mean? Maybe the Democrats need to take notes, and I could turn into the new Bloods and Crips. I don't know. Kill yourselves, man. Green War and Graduation, though. Before the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So, Republican Congressmember Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is the chick who actually has sided with QAnon and Trump and has promoted some conspiracy theories that are unproven out here. And, she's a Congress member. This is somebody who actually equated mask mandates during the pandemic to the Holocaust. And she actually apologized for that while taking a tour through the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. on Monday. She didn't, however, apologize or retract her statement and comparing Democrats to Nazis, which is a crazy thing because Republicans are so anti-Antifa, meaning they're pro-fascist, that it would seem that the Republicans are closer to being Nazis than Democrats. Me being a nonpartisan observer, of course, but that's the news on the Green War and Graduation. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So Reverend William Barber III and the Poor People's Campaign actually kept to their word and led a moral march on Mansion on Monday, and this is in Charleston, West Virginia, where they basically were urging Democratic Senator for West Virginia, Joe Manchin, to reverse his opposition to ending the filibuster that's being used by Senate Republicans to keep the For the People Act from progressing. They're also calling for Joe Manchin to reverse his opposition to the For the People Act. The For the People Act is something that's set to basically restore and expand the voting rights under the 1965 Voting Rights Act, which was gutted out from a Supreme Court decision back in 2013. So they kept to their word, and in the Senate, with the numbers between the Democrats and the Republicans being so even, once you have a Democrat siding with the Republicans pretty much shut down any legislation they see. So, and in this case, Manchin is one of those Democrats that are siding with the Republicans. Green War and Graduation. This reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Senator Bernie Sanders, Ed Markey, and other progressive Republicans are actually rejecting that bipartisan infrastructure bill that I told y'all that came up with the other day. This is something that was negotiated by Democratic Senators Joe Manchin, Kristen Sinema, and then you got the other Republican lawmakers like Mitt Romney and others. The compromise package comes up with $580 billion to put towards infrastructure. However, progressives criticize it because they said it's way too short to actually prevent or avert a climate catastrophe for the United States. And the U.S. is one of the world's biggest polluters, so it's definitely some heavy measures that need to take place. Also, you had youth activists for the climate actually marching, clearing the Golden Gate Bridge yesterday after they capped a 266-mile march across California, that ended up in San Francisco in front of Nancy Pelosi's house, demanding some action for climate change. This is as California is actually experiencing a crazy drought, and firefighters are preparing for a firefighting wildfire season that could rival last year's record-breaking season. Green War and Graduation. Reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So on Monday in Rockton, Illinois, this is actually northwest of Chicago, they had this crazy chemical plant fire that's actually has this environmental catastrophe unfolding right before our eyes. Basically, this plant that was owned by a company called Chemtool is actually caught fire on Monday morning, and it sent this crazy black smoke into the air. People within a 1 mile radius were ordered to evacuate, and people within a 3 mile radius were all ordered to actually have masks in order to prevent from having any respiratory irritation. You know what I'm saying? So the fire chief for Rockton actually said that they're going to allow the fire to burn for days. It already has been burning for 2 days. They're allowing it to burn for like a few more days instead of washing it, trying to get it out with water in order to prevent from any hazardous runoff to go into the Rocky River. Green War and Graduation. Police reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. Now, you might have saw a video of this circulating through the internet, but it's of a white man all bloodied up getting hemmed up by black protesters, and it was said that he actually rammed his car into the protest. Well, this man is actually Nicholas Cross, a 35-year-old who actually has a history of domestic abuse and actually even has 5 convictions of driving while intoxicated on his record. This man is gonna ram his car into a crowd of protesters that were gathering at a vigil in Minneapolis on Sunday evening, protesting police brutality. Ends up killing 31-year-old Deanna Marie Erickson. This is a mother of 2 little small daughters, and he injured 3 other people. Now, the vigil was actually for the murder of Winston Smith, a 32-year-old black man, father of 3, who was shot dead on June 3rd by U.S. Marginals Fugitive Task Force. And it actually has the woman who was the passenger said through her attorneys that she didn't see a gun on him or in the car, but the police, who don't have footage of the killing, who said they don't, actually said that he had shot at them and then they buzzed back. So that's the scoop on that, man. Green War and Graduation. News reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. Over there in Burma, you actually had the trial for the opposed de facto leader Aung San Suu Kyi actually beginning. This woman has actually been on house arrest ever since the Burmese military took over the nation via a coup on February 1st. Local rights groups actually say that 800 people, over 800 people, and 4,300 over 800 people have been killed while protesting against that coup, and over 4,300 people arrested. Now, the thing about Aung San Suu Kyi, this is somebody who actually defended the actions of the Burmese military in the International Criminal Court recently. However, it seemed like, and this is somebody that had their own beef with the government, had previously been, harassed and abused by the state, and still was representing, and now she's back in jail on house arrest. She's facing 15 years on what the United Nations has condemned as politically motivated charges. These charges include illegally having walkie-talkies and violating the state secrets law, which has her facing up to 15 years. Green War and Graduation. News reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News report. Make sure you check out blackfilesnews.com/opportunities. We have internship availabilities there as well, but also advertising packages for any of you business owners, anybody trying to get their name and their face out there. Tap into our social media followers across multiple platforms. These are thousands of people that are intelligent, they're free thinking, and if you have something that makes sense or that is entertainment but it don't actually leave you stuck on stupid, you know what I mean, our people is gonna fuck with you. So definitely check that out. Support us as we continue to support y'all as we build this community and keep giving y'all this real. Now, the International Criminal Court has actually sought authorization from the Hague Tribunal to actually open a crimes against humanity probe into the president of the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte. And due to his war on drugs that has been heavily criticized, he's being charged with murder, torture, and serious physical and mental harm. Now, since 2016, when his war on drugs was waged, it's led to thousands of arrests and extrajudicial killings, thousands, including children. So real serious business. We'll see if anything comes from that. People in Philippines are happy about things like this because they know that if they try to sue the president in the state, nothing is going to happen. So we'll see what this turns out to be. Green War and Graduation.